Space, the final frontier. These are the voyages of the starship Orion. Its ongoing mission, to explore strange new worlds, to seek out new life and new civilizations, to boldly go where no man has gone before. Hello again, ladies and gentlemen, Chaos Wolf here, and welcome back to Elite Dangerous. Now, as you are no doubt aware, I am actually out exploring. And as you can see by the weird little moving lights on the screen, I'm pretty sure I have found the Thargoids. Yeah, not really. They're pretty much just graphical bugs that I came across whilst I was jumping from system to system. The weird thing was they were actually following me from system to system, which was really strange. And speaking about system to system, let's go and have a look at some of the ones we've found. Now this was a jump like any other, just going from one system to the next. And what do we find when we get there? What looks like a Class M red dwarf. Am I correct though? But what else have we got in this system? Not a lot. This is the kind of theme I've been finding whilst I have been exploring this last week or two. Is the oh, it's a K-class yellow-orange. I could have sworn that would have been an M. Oh well. But the problem is because the route I have chosen, I am coming across very few very interesting systems. But at least we can fuel from this star. And let's have a look at what that first planet was. I have a feeling that it's going to be a high metal content planet. Yeah, there was no real big surprise there. So yeah, the first one there was a high metal content planet, but surprisingly enough, it's actually a candidate for terraforming. Now, this next planet, it looks like it has an atmosphere, but I'm really not sure whether I'm actually going to bother to go and scan it. It's over 1,000 light seconds away, so you know what, I don't think I'm actually going to go and bother. Because I have a feeling it's either going to be a rocky planet or an icy planet, most likely an icy planet judging by the colour of it. So let's actually go and find out what's in the next system. And now we come across another star, which I'm pretty sure is an M-class red dwarf. But I'm sure we're going to have to scan it to find out. But what else do we have in this system whilst we're here? We have 4 stars. So 3 of them are pretty much orbiting right next to each other, and 1 might be off a little way. Let's have a look over at the distances here. So yeah, 3 of them are pretty much right next door to each other, and this second one I can actually scan as I am looking through this star. But where are we? Let's go and have a look at the map, shall we? Here we are. This is where I am at the current moment. What we'll do is we'll zoom all the way out and we'll have a look. Now, as you can see, I am a fair distance away from the rest of habitable space, and as you can see, I am actually going to be going through one of the gaps between the legs of the galaxy very soon. And where am I going? This is actually my target destination for this part of the journey. I am actually going down to the centre of the next leg, so I am actually going to be crossing a vast expanse here of very few star systems. And then I'm going to be going this way, as you can see, towards the centre. There is a couple of nebulae around this area, and there is where I'm going to be going through. But I'm thinking I'm going to be going into this nebula here. So after I move from where I am now, through this great expanse, into this leg and then over into the next one, I'm actually going to go and have a look. Holy crap. There is quite a few more nebulae there than I actually thought there was going to be. So I might actually have to have a bit of time spent going through a couple of those nebulae towards the centre of the galaxy. But the journey continues on and to the centre of the galaxy. It's a pretty sight right here. As you can see, all the collection of stars in the centre and the nebula off to the distance. It just looks so nice. And here we go, another M-class red dwarf. And it's got a couple of interesting little planets around at the beginning. And look at this, all those nice gas giants with their moons. The moons I'm never going to bother going to scan unless there's something really interesting looking about them, but these are what we are going to have a look at. These are what I'm going to imagine to be either high metal content or possibly metal rich. Now this first one, I imagine it's going to be metal rich. But look at that, an icy asteroid belt, so which is not boding well for the rings here, which I'm imagining are going to be rocky and icy. Yeah, as you can see, all of the inner rings here, almost all of them, seem to be like the brown rocky colours, so I do imagine that this is actually just going to be a completely rocky, icy system. And the first planet is pretty much right next to where we dropped in, so we don't even have to move to scan it. So let's find out what this one is. Is it a metal rich or is it a high metal content? It's a high metal content. So it's not the best, and I was pretty convinced that was going to be a metal rich, because usually I'm used to metal rich planets actually being the darker. Well, let's have a look at the rest of these and see what we find. Now it's always good to note that planets that are actually orbiting one another don't actually show up with a big orbital ring. So as you can see here, they don't have the large orbital ring that you see the other planets with. They just have the orbital rings around each other and that's it. Now as you can see, they're all high metal content planets. And we have this last one. I'm going to go check at the least for the moment. If it does turn out to be anything other than the rocky icy rings that I'm expecting it to be. Nice. I like flying past planets and actually just having a look at them as we go. But if this does turn out to be anything other than the rocky icy, which I'm expecting it to be, I will actually stay and scan the rest of the system. Because at least I'll make some decent But no, it does appear that it is only rocky icy, so as I said, we're not going to bother and we're actually just going to go and jump over to the next system. So we'll go and select our target and align and charge up the frameshift drives. Ah, now this looks interesting. This looks like a G-class star. Either that or an F-class, I can't quite remember. But we'll soon find out, and let's have a look. Oh, this looks a lot more promising. We seem to have a lot of planets that seem to have the potential to either be water worlds or terraformable worlds. So this is going to be very interesting. Although, come to think of it, it looks like the most likely none of them are going to be water worlds, but we're going to have some high metal contents. So we've scanned them already, and let's find out what we got. High metal content, high metal content, high metal content. So this is going to be nice. High metal content, 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 icy, and icy. I just thought I'd scan the last two just for the sake of it. But I was actually hoping that at least one of those high metal content worlds would actually be terraformable. But unfortunately none of these actually are. Even though we have two of them that are actually orbiting one another, none of these are actually high metal content. None of these are terraformable, even though they looked like they might be. Okay, so the next system we came across, we found a couple of planets that looked interesting. This one, there was another high metal content planet, but unfortunately again it was not terraformable. It has 100% nitrogen atmosphere. This one was carbon dioxide, and this was just a lifeless rock. I was kind of hoping it was going to be a high metal content because it looked very similar to the other one. And that is an icy planet, even though it did look like it was going to be something else, but it's got an argon-rich atmosphere, which I find rather amusing, considering I do believe that's the gas they use in beer. Oh well. But quick stop off for some more fuel before we are on our way again. And next stop on our journey, we find another K-class yellow star. So what else do we find in this system? Now, having a look around, this looks like it could be a fairly interesting system. Although I do think that all those rings are actually going to be rocky and icy again. I'm not convinced that they're going to be anything. And this one's kind of ambiguous. Now, the other two, those are going to be rocky or icy. But the first one, it could be a metal rich. I don't know. And there's an interesting looking little moon down there. But unfortunately, I actually forget to go and scan that one. So, and here we go. There's another one that looks like it might be interesting, like it might be terraformable. But let's go and find out after we've scanned it. So we're back in the map after we actually scanned. And let's have a look at what we found. We found a metal-rich planet, which is 100% metal. Now that little planet is going to get me a nice little bit of money, but it is only 0.01 of an Earth mass, so it's not very big. Same with that one, and same with that one, but those two are only high metal content, so they're not quite as nice. The higher the content of metal, the more money you're going to be making. Let's have a look here. Another high metal content, around about 33.3, so that's almost exactly a third of metal. So that's not bad. This one, yeah, it's just high metal content again, and I was hoping it was going to be something else, but we got a ring there with two metal rich, and we got a rocky and a rocky, a rocky and a metal rich ring, and a metal rich ring, so that's quite nice. And what did we find down on this star? We actually found another metal rich planet, so that was very nice, and another high metal content planet. So this system, I'm hoping, is going to be getting me a nice little profit, and I have again been getting my name on all the stars. Because you can tell nobody's had these systems before because their names don't appear on the stars. And just look at that. That looks like it looks like some kind of chocolate cream dessert planet, doesn't it? It does look very pretty. And let's have a look outside the ship. I really do love exploration since they've actually introduced the external camera. Now this is something you don't see all that often. This is an A-class star. It is one of the, if not the hottest class of stars in the entire game. And it's all by itself, so that is even more strange. I'm used to seeing these with at least a couple of planets around them. But it is the newest and the hottest of all the stars. Well, at least the hottest of all the stars. So let's go and partake of some fuel before we carry on our journey. Now this system was something a little bit special. It didn't look that special when I first saw it, but because I'm pretty sure that all those rings were rocky, and yes they are. They're all rocky rings, but that's not what I was really interested in. And again, we've just got a load of high metal content planets and a little icy planet as a moon. But what we have is a high metal content planet actually orbiting that gas giant. But this is the one that I was really, really surprised at. We actually have a terraformable planet orbiting a gas giant. You know what? I was so surprised at this. So we've actually got a planet that we can terraform orbiting a gas giant. You know what? I think I'm actually going to be calling that little planet Endor, or Endor 2.0. But yeah, no, that was really surprising, and I really liked that. And here we go. This is actually one of my favourite looking planets, the metal-rich iron magma volcanism planets, where it's 100% metal. It is almost pure black, if not for the deep red volcanic areas on the planet's surface. I really like the way these planets look. And as you can see in the rest of the system, the rest of these planets are actually most likely going to be high metal content. So there we go, metal rich, high metal content, and high metal content. But it's quite often those little kind of beigey browny ones could actually be metal rich themselves. And we have another high metal content one here with a nitrogen atmosphere. And again, first one to discover the stars, and again here. These stars here I was particularly pleased with because we have one A-class star and one F-class star. But again, I was surprised to find that there was no other astronomical objects in the vicinity of these stars. And this is what I like. Having the other star so large that I can actually scan it from over 5,000 light seconds away. I didn't even have to move away from the main star. But as much as I liked actually finding these two astronomical objects, there is something else that I've actually found here that I really liked. And we'll go and have a look at that just now. And what is it, you might wonder? It is something I've been looking for a long ass time. And here it is. An Earth-like world with a ring. And not just any ring, but that ring is a high metal ring. Or a metal-rich ring. And it is an absolutely amazing little find. It is pretty much 2 Earth masses, so it's twice the size of Earth. But I am hoping that I'm going to be getting some good money for it. And anyway, that'll be pretty much enough for this episode. But before I go, I'm going to leave you with a look at Planet Bob up close and personal. Planet Bob, that is what I have named the Earth-like world with the ring. I'm going to leave you with a look at Planet Bob and some screenshots of the trip so far this week. I do hope you've enjoyed this episode. If so, please do hit that like button. It really does help this channel out. And if you haven't already, do hit that big subscribe button. It will be showing up at the end of the episode. And what will happen is you will get updates whenever I release new videos. Until next time, Commanders, keep flying and stay shiny.